Hey there, it's Charlie. I'm gonna tie this I've got a few messages on Instagram that asked me for the recipe for this. It was actually one that was in a swim tank, and I did it in some fucking artsy fartsy kind of fucking attempt. And so I think it was harder to tell what it was. But anyways, this is the fly. It's probably a lot easier. I may not even need to make an instructional video on this, honestly, but I'll tell you basically what I do. So let's start here. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Now I'm gonna say, here's a platform you tie on. Almost exclusively what I tie on nowadays. I love these things beyond belief, but basically what you do is you gotta take a pair of needle nose, and I give this a little bit of an upturn. Okay. And now you can see that it looks like that. And you'll see this little thing sticks out just a wee bit. So I'll take some cutting dikes and I give that a little bit of a clip. Now, no matter what, when you're tying on this, you're gonna need to be careful of those points at that point, because it'll just slice through your thread, right? So just be careful when you're getting it wrapped up. Eventually your material is gonna cover it up nicely. If you feel really frisky, you could take some UV and you could probably put like a dollop on that and cure it, and it probably would remedy it. I've never done it. I'm just thoughtful of my tying. Sometimes I break a lot of thread right there too, so I'm kind of full of shit. I like to use the Aquafly's intruder wire. I don't know. I only because I like the texture. So that's the answer. You can use whatever intruder wire you'd like to. The rabbit strip does not get tied down at the back, so you don't need to use, so it can be intruder wire is what I should say. Then you're gonna get some Semperfly. This is straggle string. This one was obviously tied in pink, but I think that I'd like it to be a little bit more contrasty in orange this time, so I'm gonna go with like whatever color this is. They call it fluorescent orange. And maybe instead of copper, I'm gonna use the Uni French tinsel small, but in silver. One more thing is that this was, pretty positive this was just some shit I had laying on my desk for this one, which is, it's basically a grizzly saddle, but it's not barred. And I just found like one of the biggest ones I could and put it under here. And then the pink tip is saddle hackle in whatever color this is. What do they call this? Fluorescent cerise. But I'm sorry. So instead of that, the blue here, this blue hackle, I'm gonna do a silver pheasant. It'll bedazzle it a wee bit more. And then finally, there's that. I'll talk you through how I select my rabbit. Anyways, this is not original thoughts. Everything I know is because I've learned it from somebody else along the way. So, like, haven't really created much of these cool, clever, how I select my materials or anything like that on my own. Just fortunate that there's YouTube videos to help me learn. I'd like to find the actual thread that I'd like to use here. Since I'm already in the middle of a fucking video, I'm 4 minutes into it, and it's right in front of my face, actually. That's incredible. Thread wraps to get you started. You do have to kind of help this along the way, because that bottom return wants to peel out to either side, and so I usually just help it stay underneath. And as soon as you get a few good wraps on it, it's pretty well set, and you don't have to worry about it. I'm sorry about the squeak that's going to come off of that. I can't find any wax. I'm not going to do anything about it. So I have to say, by the way, that whatever this is, I should say, there's a name right here. This thing has never made fucking noise. It has never made noise. Loon has definitely made noise, and this one is an Umpqua. It flies, and it obviously squeaks. They all fucking squeak except for this. So Now, let's get this fucker tied in, eh? Actually, I'm gonna come up real quick and I'm gonna tie in that eye. I'm gonna show you this is where I have to get careful, and you'll probably quite literally see me fucking break it right here. Because you have two opposing, you have one on the bottom and you have this one. Yeah, that one that you gotta look out for as well at the same time. So this is usually where I break thread, but I avoided it this time. Nice thing about running up and down is there's a thread base. Some people find that important. I don't find it wildly important. I always add super glue, so I'm like gluing my shit. Okay, as far as a measurement goes on this, I can't say positively. Every measurement that I ever take, this is a Renzetti vise, okay? All my measurements are all me just knowing from this point right here to this point right here, or like eyeballing it. You know, that's just how I fucking do it. I've always done it. I just kind of go like, okay, like I know right here, I'm basically at a 1/2 inch because I can look down at this and line it up with a screw that's on this side of my vise. And I'm like, okay, that's a 1/2 inch roughly, 5/8, whatever. Somewhere therein, as long as it's somewhat consistent. I do not get out a ruler or do any fucking thing weird with my measurements at all, ever. I'll put my finger underneath this. I know you can't see it, but what I'm doing is I'm kind of holding up the bottom of my intruder wire to help keep it in place. It's going to find the grooves on this return as it goes. And try not to get too close to my phone here so that I can actually tie at the same time. But that's kind of it. Just set it in those grooves. Once it's in those grooves, then I'll come back through and secure it just a wee bit more. And then finally on this one, this is where I'll do like 1, 2. Usually I'm going really fast, but this is where I'm going to give it a good pull. 1, 2, and then a pull. And really kind of like bite down into that intruder wire. Again, I've never had it yank out of here, even without the glue, so I'm not wildly concerned about it anymore. I like to tie one side in and do like a 1/2 inch of thread wrap, and then I come back for this one. There's no reason in the fucking world why. I just do it that way. It's just one of those fucking things that a habit that I formed. I've noticed it, and I've been like, that's fucking weird that I do it, but I'm not gonna fix it because it's working for me, and there's no need to fix it. Again, on these fucking things, when your thread comes to those, you gotta be careful because now it's sharp. And so just be careful when you come around them so you don't cut your thread. Okay. Now, it's like 5 a.m. So I'm drinking coffee, getting ready. What do we do at this point? I used to do a little like shiny tag back here. I just kind of have aborted it because it's already like a chrome silver shank, and I'm like, ah, fuck it, I don't need to double down on it. That's my way of thinking anyways. I'm like, there's already something kind of like that color back there. It's going to be exposed. The length of this that you need, I would call that a foot. Okay. Technically I just did this wrong. The last material to get pulled up gets tied in first, and that is going to be in this case what that was. Oh, well, I'm actually going to be able to show you this again. We can go with the variant of this actually, and tie an orange. I could do actually, I have some of this just laying on my desk. I could tie this up if I wanted to, right? So let's go ahead and do that. And this is a grizzly saddle, hot pink or whatever it is. So that's gonna be the last thing. We're gonna do the tinsel, There is a way to do this, to tie this in and then to tie this in, okay? And it can be very specific. And the reason why is because if you could just kind of go wherever you want to go, when this one comes up, it's not going to line right up with this. So I tie mine right. Let's fucking see how I can show you this. Hang on, let me cut this first so it's not in my own fucking way. This you don't need a whole lot of. Let's see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see where that's tied in. And I don't know if you can see this, but I'm gonna tie that in right fucking next to it, basically. Not wherever I'd like to, but right next to it. And that way, when I begin to wrap my feather up, it's right next to it. It doesn't create any weird shit. Okay. I'm not normally this critical. I've only become this critical recently in my life with fly tying. So, yes, I did. I broke my thread, and guess where I must have broke it right on that intruder wire. It's the only thing I can imagine that could have been. All right. Yank it all back on up in here. Get this fucking thing going. Yes, you can sit there and you can peel this back at the same time. Or not. It's up to you. I don't know if you catch this, but when I capture these, I like to do this. And the reason why is because it just gives me another point of contact just in case I let it go. Because if you let this go, it'll unravel enough that you have to start over. And if it happens 2 or 3 times, it can become like mighty frustrating. So I give it like the old double pinch, if you will. I think I'm gonna like the orange a lot more than I liked the pink body coming up. Not that I don't have faith in it, it just doesn't quite pop out the way that I wish it would have. And this is why I use like a foot of this stuff, because, ooh, see how I ran out of the ability to, oh, shit. That's incredible. I almost got turbo fucked there. Ooh. Yeah, the only traditional thing I try to stick with here is 5 wraps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's gonna be 5. Right, ready? Okay. You can put hackle pliers on if you'd like. All right. Now I may do this because it is nice with a rotary vise, just being able to do this and then come back through and kind of unwind your thread. I think it's so much nicer to get this precise. And then I'll just back off some of that like excess thread that I have built up here, because that's an awful lot right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's gonna be good. If you're asking for my advice, I could just stop right there. That's a fly. Let's just call that a day. That's a fly. It's a fucking funny one, but I'm sure it would fish. If you keep in mind how most of these things probably did begin, it probably was that simple. I mean, when fly tying was a thing, we weren't getting this fucking stupid. There wasn't a bunch of synthetic materials available, and you didn't go out and just go fucking hunt down a bird real quick and dye its feathers and do all this shit. You just kind of dealt with whatever. And so they were probably by far more simple. And simple flies, I think, are probably better. So exercise using less. Try not to be excessive. Live in a world of excess. Here we're at this point where it's going to be silver pheasant. Okay. This doesn't necessarily act. It's not like a prop or anything. I don't necessarily think you really need to prop it, because that rabbit strip, once it's in the water, is going to be yanked backwards anyways. So I'm just trying to find the right feather here. It's feeling like it's going to be a wee bit tough for me to find that feather. In one of those packages, you only get maybe fucking 10 useful feathers, and it's a real bummer. I gotta try to source like the whole bird somehow. Just dye them myself. I don't know, but I am really annoyed with buying materials that only have like 5 good materials in the package. I'll even get to that with the rabbit strip here in a second. You guys will see this kind of come up. So, all right. Yes, I'd like to get that yanked in there a little bit. Yes. I like to put my hackle pliers on when the stem is that fucking small. Yeah, train them back just a little bit first. Running your scissors on it, probably a helpful little trick as well. And as you do this, just kind of make sure that the feathers aren't getting locked in all on one side or whatever. You can make this look like really decent if you just take a moment to examine your fly as you go. That right there gonna drive me fucking batty. Get out of here with that crap. Okay, 2 of them are on there, good and locked. I feel good. Okay. Yeah. Some of those want to come out right now. Good for them. Yeah. All right. Is it looking good so far? Can you guys see? I fucking can't tell. That's for sure. 19 minutes in, almost done, really. So, there's that. All right, what did I do with it? The rabbit. There it is. Okay, you ready for this one? Yeah, come on.
Where did he get that?
Where did he get what? Where did he get what? What the fuck is it? Oh man, did you just open up that freezer? Yeah, he opened up the freezer right there. Hey, hey. Come here.
That's really scary, actually. I didn't know. I even know he got out of bed.
So cold.
I know. Will you go take it to the freezer? I know, it's cold back here. I love you, man. Are you closing it?
Am I closing?
Yeah, that door.
Yeah.
Okay. Eh. Oh shit. So I didn't realize that these are Magnum. Fuck, Magnum. I guess I'll just show you this little jammy. So when you're selecting these, definitely don't use fucking Magnum. If you have another vise, this is a great thing to kind of have. You can find a way just to clip this in. If you can find a way to get it clipped in, that's awesome. I got a blade over here. And then we're gonna cut this thing in two. That's what we're gonna do. And I'm just gonna go all the way with it while I'm here. The real truth about this is if you could do even another swipe at it and get that even thinner than that, that'd probably be even better. But so I'll keep that over there for now. Now we don't have, now it's half of what it was because Magnum is fucking huge. So dumb. So anyways, selecting your rabbit strip, find the one that feels the most wiggly. Like you can definitely get to different sections just like you can with any material, with bucktail or anything else. Like different sections on that hide are gonna have different purposes really, right? More hollow fibers, be more buoyant, whatever. This is ultra wiggly. Luckily I got into a really nice one right away. And then I cut a fucking triangle up here. The reason why I cut a triangle is for a nice tie-in point. I like to be able to tie it in without having a whole bunch of bulk up here. So that's basically it right there. Now this, oh, let's make sure you can get the length. Just beyond, move this hair out of your way. I come just beyond, just give it a stretch, release it. And when you're like halfway from the eye to the bend of your hook, that's kind of roughly where I cut mine off at. Now, I don't want to fucking cut a bunch of these fibers out of the way because it looks fucking really stupid if you do. Cut it off right there. This one also gets a V cut into it. The back of your fly. This one, for no reason other than it looks better than a square. Okay. Now we're almost there. You guys starting to capture the essence of the fly here? Okay. I could fucking end it right there. There doesn't need to be any need to polish it off, but I do like to take and give it a little bit of flair. Oh, also some flash. You can use whatever you'd like here. You can use Flash-a-boo, crinkle flash, whatever. I'm a hyper big fan of crinkle flash, and so that's kind of usually what I will toss in here. But 2 strands on each side, that's my go-to. And it Yep. Yep. Make sure I'm capturing it where I want it to be, actually. I got 2 over here. I've got 2 over there. Okay. God damn it. There it goes. Sometimes you can get ultra annoyed with shit. Tell you what. There are these 2 grizzly fibers that are sticking out up here. I want to get them out of my way now. I've noticed that if I don't do that right now, my tendency is that I'll sit and want to try to like wrap them in and like conceal them, and it just gets progressively dumber, like in a way that I just wish didn't happen. Not going to be too particular about this feather necessarily, right? I do want it to end up with like the biggest part kind of up in here, but it's really just a little accent. It's not doing much. It's for me. It's for me to just like love the finish. So, because you could stop right here and it'd be a finished fly. That's all I'm getting at. Gonna need my hackle pliers for this one as well. Doo-doo. And some fucking glasses at some point. I'm getting to a point I can't see what the F I'm doing anymore, so. That's what happens when you turn 100 fucking years old. All right. Pinch, pull, pry, pull. I'm gonna use all of it. It's not a lot of material, and then I'll also show you guys kind of, because I end up brushing this out. As I brush and I pluck, and especially you want to know something that's good about taking photos of your flies is when you take photos of it, you'll notice these like weird fibers that stick out, and your tendency is to sit there and try to fucking pluck them out to get a good photo. But as you sit there and pluck them out, you're just refining your fly even better. And so like when you see like photos where like the fly looks really good, not only is it usually like a really good photo, but that's because the fly was like ended up being worthy of the photo, in regards to every fiber like being plucked out that didn't need to be there. I don't know. I literally got so bonged out that I didn't actually tie that in. So we're gonna try that again. I thought I tied it down, but I did not tie it down. Okay. I like it when I tie that stem in on the bottom. That one didn't make it that time. Just a lot easier, a lot nicer looking. Let's see if I have a pair of scissors that can cut that fucking crap off. Get it out of my fucking life, bro. These fucking dumb loose things. Okay, now get the fuck out of here. It'll end up concealing just fucking fine without being too bulky. There you have it. So there's that. Here it is. Here's that fly, and we're gonna sit and do this kind of shit. We're gonna get this thing fucking primed and proper. Yeah. Everything gets a nice little beating. And then you start seeing all this fuzzy shit fucking floating everywhere. That's awesome. Those are fibers that like wanted to get the fuck out of there anyway. You just helped them break free. So I'd say that's it basically. And could it use any more refinement? Nah, not really actually. It's good by me. Now, I don't really, this is not an original idea either. Jim Sands told me that he doesn't really use the UV cure anymore. Just super glue does the job. That's what I've begun to do myself with these flies. And so I've not like super glued fucking anything in quite some time. That's an ultra long fly there. I hope you can see what it looks like and it's, you know, doing what it needs to do. Let's see if I can get it on a nice white backdrop for you. Capture